Welcome back to KMC Sizzling Summer Online. Today we're going to be talking about the science of air pressure and how to build a small vacuum chamber out of common materials you can probably find in your kitchen. First question you're going to ask is, what is a vacuum? Well, scientifically, a vacuum is a space that's almost entirely devoid of matter. When you think of a vacuum, you probably think of a vacuum cleaner. And they're called that because they create negative air pressure. That's a spot with less air pressure than the area around it. Since the air wants to equalize, it's going to suck the dirt up because it's pulling in more air. As mentioned before, vacuums, or at least the ones you're familiar with, use a difference in air pressure to suck things up. Air wants to have the same pressure everywhere around it. So if there's a difference in pressure, the air will try and equalize it. It'll try and have that same pressure everywhere it goes. This is what helps push and pull air currents in the weather. Air will move itself around in an attempt to equalize pressure. Some examples of this in the real world are airplanes. The wing is shaped in a way that the area on top of the wing is going to have lower air pressure than the air on the bottom of the wing. Since there's a difference in air pressure, the spot with more air is going to push the wing up to equalize air pressure. We talked about this in the Magnus effect video. Vacuum sealers will create lower air pressure inside of a container so that the container will seal itself around an object, usually food. And space, literally all of space. Space is one giant vacuum. There is nothing inside of space. So to start this experiment, we're going to have you assemble your materials. To build a vacuum chamber, you're going to need a glass jar, usually one of a pretty good size, a pencil, a straw, a rubber band, a balloon, a paper plate, some scissors, and a hot glue gun. For the first step, cut the straw about in half. These will act as the input and output pipes for the vacuum chamber. After that, make sure you take the open part of the jar and trace it onto the paper so that you have a circle about the same size as the opening that we can cut out later. Next, make sure to cut just outside of that ring that you traced on the paper plate. You need it slightly larger than the cap so that it doesn't fall through. Once you've cut out this circle, use the pencil to push two holes into opposite sides of the cap. These holes are going to contain the straws that we're going to use later. The next step is to take those two straws and insert them through the two holes in the cap. They should be about the same diameter, meaning that they fit pretty much snug. Now that you've installed the straws, these will act as the input and output of air in your pressure chamber. Next, wrap a rubber band around one of the straws a couple times. Make sure it loops over so it holds nice and tight. On that same straw that you put the rubber bands on, put a balloon at the end. Slide those rubber bands down over the balloon and make sure that the balloon is sealed tight to the straw so that when you blow into the balloon, none of the air leaks out from around the edge. Now carefully insert the balloon and the cap all assembled into the jar. Use hot glue around the edges of the cap and the straws so that you make sure that it's completely sealed and no air can get out. Blow into the straw that isn't connected to the balloon and feel around the edge of the straw and the jar to make sure that there are no breaches in the pressure and that all of the air is contained. Now that your air pressure chamber is totally assembled, to use it, just suck in from the straw that's not attached to the balloon and watch the balloon inflate itself. What you're doing is you're lowering the air pressure outside of the balloon. Since the straw is connected to the air outside of the jar, and the air pressure of the jar is lowering, it will attempt to equalize. And while it equalizes, it's going to pull air in from the outside and inflate the balloon. To make sure you're doing this right, just watch my demonstration right up next. Well, this experiment probably didn't require too many special parts. Some of the experiments we do at CAMC do require you to actually purchase certain materials. If you need financial assistance for whatever reason, feel free to contact Dr. Michael Tanoff or any of the CAMC staff.